couple of years since I put out a video on this channel, and we'll catch up with why a little later. But today I've been invited to do something very, very special. In September 2025, Qantas will start commercial services with the brand new Airbus A321XLR, and I've been invited on one of the inaugural flights. On 2nd of July 2025, the very first Airbus A321XLR for Qantas arrived in Sydney in less than ideal weather conditions. There had been plans for an event inside Qantas Hangar 96, however, due to the bad weather around the state, this was cancelled in advance. However, a water cannon salute was still arranged, a nice touch by Sydney Airport, and you can see how strong the wind was. This is the first of 48 A321XLRs that have been ordered by Qantas to eventually replace the Boeing 737 fleet, which is starting to show its age, but has been a reliable member of the Qantas fleet for several decades. After its arrival, shortly followed by a second XLR, the pair began a program of crew training and rehearsal flights to test systems, procedures, and get as many crew ready for entry into service as possible. The A321XLR will have better range of 4,700 nautical miles, can carry 200 passengers, has in-flight Wi-Fi, and future editions will have 16 lie-flat seats in business class, which will be great on long-haul routes. In economy, there will be the same 30-inch pitch as on the current 737s, however, due to the new seat designs, you actually have more legroom available. Through July, August and early September, the two aircraft were put through their paces running between Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane in a variety of weather conditions. One particular flight had to dodge the thunderstorms and ended up holding a fair way out over the ocean before coming into land at Sydney on a very wet and windy night. And so to the day itself when the aircraft would finally enter service. On the first day of service for the XLR, there was a Sydney to Perth, a Sydney to Melbourne, but before both of those flights was our special flight, with many dignitaries on board. There was a heavy media presence that interviewed Qantas CEO Vanessa Hudson and other content creators like B Snappy. There was also some nice live music at the gate. While the festivities took place and the aircraft stood at the gate, I decided to ask a friend some advice in my search for a new phone.
So, Trev, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you since our date at the...
Yeah, it was a lovely night, but you haven't called me since.
No, I know. You're never right, you never call. But anyway, we're here now. What's the difference between the iPhone 17 Max and the Pro Max?
Well, here's one I prepared earlier. That's your 17 Pro. That's your 17 Pro Max. They are identical, except for the screen size. So same cameras, same unibody, aluminium design, same everything. It's just size and screen and battery.
Does size matter?
Look, I don't think so. That's why I use the smaller one. Look, I think it's too much. I think it's too big. I think it's too heavy. But some people love the bigger screen. So and the orange comes in both. The blue and the orange comes in both sizes. But yeah, bottom line, it's just a size preference.
Legend. Thank you very much, Trev.
And so as departure time approached and I caught up with some familiar faces, I thought about the special flight we were about to undertake. It's not just a standard Sydney to Melbourne, we're actually going to go low level and take a look at the Great Ocean Road. And this aircraft that we're flying on is actually called Great Ocean Road. Should be fun. So souvenir ticket in hand, we began boarding what was the Asia Pacific region's very first revenue A321XLR flight.
We're going to be taking off to the north in just a few minutes. And you're going to get some fantastic views up both sides of the aircraft. On behalf of Erin and the crew, please sit back, enjoy this wonderful departure, and we hope you enjoy this very first flight.
Takeoff was quite sporty. We climbed like a homesick angel, and I took time to reflect on what was a moment of Australian aviation history.
After your safety, most importantly, but they are going to whip through and serve each of us breakfast. We're all getting the same thing today, just to keep it fair and also make it a little bit quicker because we want to try and get all of you up walking around. Just a reminder, if you are seated though, always a good idea to keep that seatbelt fastened. But we will get you up to explore a bit more of this aircraft throughout the morning. We do have some surprises in store for you as well, so if we quickly get all of our interviews and all of our content done, then we can have a little bit more fun as we head south. We'll be aware that we have a very special passenger on board with us today, Harrison Long. Congratulations, happy 14th birthday. Round of applause for Harrison, everybody. He loves his plane. This is a flight that Harry will never forget, and it's great to have you on board with us today. As you opened those baggage compartments on the flight, you may have noticed some beautiful Qantas and July suitcases that are in some of those compartments. They look pretty good. Cabin crew, if you would like to lift the lid, open up and just show anyone who hasn't actually had the opportunity to see these beautiful July suitcases that are on board with us this morning. Guess what, everyone? This is my Oprah moment. The team have loaded onto the aircraft, one for each and every single one of you on board today to take photos. You get it back, you get it back. So once we do arrive in Melbourne, we kindly ask that all of you head to the Qantas Business Lounge for a lovely lunch that we're all going to enjoy together before that return flight to Sydney a little bit later. I also hear from the ground in Tullamarine that we do have a number of plane spotters who are very excited to see this aircraft coming for the very first time in Melbourne. Sorry. It feels as though we are starting to descend. Before anything else, I do have to let you know that we have a bit of an update about today's flight plan. It's probably best to go to one of the people in charge of today's flight, Captain Camille McPherson from the flight deck. Camille?
Yes, hello everyone. Well, in addition to that wonderful news about your new luggage, because today is such a special flight, we've got a special surprise for you. We are in fact taking you down to Great Ocean Road today to celebrate. We're going to do our best to make sure that you get absolutely spectacular views of this special part of Australia. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy the views.
Well, that's exciting.
London Bridge. It's a rock formation that used to bridge to the mainland. And fun fact, in 1990 there were 2 tourists standing on the solid part of London Bridge, and the access way to the mainland collapsed and they were stranded for some 3 hours while a helicopter came and winched them to a safe rescue. And looking down towards the east, you can get a great view of the Apostles. There were never 12 Apostles, and the original name was the Sow and Piglets. But fairly shortly thereafter it was determined that they would be referred to as the 12 Apostles. There was only ever 9 formed over between 10 and 20 million years by erosion. And quite ironically, due to that erosion, there are only 7 that stand today.
For me, this was a huge thrill, as I have not been to the Great Ocean Road before. But before long, and due to the relatively low cloud, we climbed back up to rejoin the traffic into Melbourne for the festivities there.
Nice guy.
Yeah, what was it, babe?
It was fantastic. How was it for you? Happy birthday.
Thank you. See you soon.
We were given a very warm welcome by those on the ground in Melbourne, with every single passenger and content creator made to feel special as they came off the plane. Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt from Sit Squad.
Welcome.
Sit Squad. Go to Sit Squad.
Okay, Paul.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Everyone on board was invited to the business lounge for the special lunch, but the first person I saw as I walked into the lounge was this bloke, an Australian legend and a hero of mine I've been lucky enough to meet a few times. before Qantas CEO Vanessa Hudson gave the spotlight to those special people who made this event happen.
We are so proud of the role that you play in the Qantas Group and
the Airbus Chief Representative for Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific, Stephen Forshaw. Stephen.
Thank you very much to Vanessa.
Hard work, passion to bring this aircraft safely into operation and be able to carry passengers today. So it's a really momentous occasion for me and for...
Before we knew it, it was time to reboard the aircraft and go back home to Sydney.
So I've run into a few familiar faces today.
Hello, mate. Hello, Stephen. Yeah, mate. You've got our stories, so make sure to check it out.
A little trivia on our way home and some A321XLR merchandise to go with our suitcases.
I feel like my car is a cemetery for them. Like there's a
I think it's quiz time. I don't know, it depends on what.
The return flight gave me a chance to test the new holders for personal devices, and the iPad fit quite well. The in-flight Wi-Fi was okay. And of course, 3 cheers for the operating crew before we landed in Sydney on runway 25.
Hooray! Hooray! Well done, guys. Thank you so much.
So yeah, that was good, like convenience. The place is built to be convenient and service oriented.
Isn't it?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Well, that was something special to be on the inaugural flights of the Airbus A321XLR for Qantas. A couple of little gifts we got out of it. We got a free XLR luggage bag and a gift bag too. All in all, a really good experience and ran into some familiar faces. We'd do it all over again. Hopefully we'll get the same sort of treatment when the A350 comes out. Who knows? Well, I can only say that that was just a wonderful experience to be on what is a historic flight for Qantas, a historic flight in Australian aviation, really. So my father-in-law's father worked for Qantas and he was on the delivery flights for the first ever Boeing 747. I was there when the last Concorde landed. I was there when the last Qantas 747 left Australia. I was here when the first A220 arrived and the first A321XLR. So to be able to be actually on board for a moment of aviation history is super special to me. And for it to be an aircraft that I was also here for the first arrival of makes it doubly so. Yeah, just a massive thanks to all involved that made it happen, and great to see so many familiar faces and to be part of such a special event.
Now, I mentioned at the start of this video that it's been a couple of years since I put any videos out, and I'm working on the video of my last flight. What have I been up to in the last couple of years? Well, Sid Squad viewers will know I used to work on the cargo ramp at Sydney Airport, but for the last couple of years I've moved into a different role. I had some great times working in that job, and I do miss getting the opportunity to get hands-on with the aircraft, but my new role is very much what I wanted to be doing and has allowed some other events in our lives. A little while ago, we sold our first apartment home and upsized to a house, meaning my little family have some space to play outside. And we've had a few adventures as well. A little family holiday to Cairns in 2024 to see some crocodiles was great fun. And also this year, a few days in Perth. So we can now say that we have set foot in every state in Australia, though the Northern Territory was only Darwin Airport. I've also been super busy as an editor of a podcast, and in amongst all of that has started playing cricket again, which takes up a lot of time during the summer months. I still occasionally join Kurt and the fellas on Sid Squad, the Pacific Air Show on the Gold Coast in 2024, and a day trip to Hobart in 2025 being the highlights. But I do look forward to having more adventures with my family and recording as many of those moments as possible. I'll get on to editing that last flight I did and hopefully go flying again soon and create some more content for this channel. If you haven't already, please do me a massive favour and like this video and subscribe to this channel. Check out the socials on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you for watching.